Did you know that you have a home in Rome that offers courses on spirituality and art and architecture and helps you to experience Rome as no ordinary tourist can? That the Episcopal Church is an enthusiastic sponsor of this 40-year-old center? All you have to do is ring the bell. The director and the staff are happy to help you with simple tourism requests or to plan a sabbatical or parish pilgrimage. You are always welcome for Eucharist and lunch on Tuesdays. So in spite of today's ecumenical challenges, which cannot be glossed over, day in and day out, the Anglican Centre in Rome is a focal point of hospitality as it continues to build and deepen friendships, particularly between Anglicans and Roman Catholics. It educates us all about the modern ecumenical accomplishments and reminds us of our deep, shared spiritual history. It's preparing us for the day when we will see the need to emphasize our commonality instead of our differences. There is so much more that all Christians can and should be doing together.
My name is Mary Reith. I'm a governor of the Anglican Centre in Rome. Because Rome isn't around the corner for most of us, we wanted to be able to tell you about the center. To begin, I'm going to give you a little bit of the history of the center, which was founded in 1966, just after Paul VI invited Michael Ramsey, the 100th Archbishop of Canterbury and leader of the International Anglican Communion, to come to Rome. They were both interested in giving a strong start to the ecumenical movement, the work that seeks to make Christianity one in some new sense.
There was certainly a very strong sense that the relationship that had been established and, I suppose, symbolized by the meeting of Michael Ramsey and Pope Paul in the Sistine Chapel, that mattered to both sides. It was something that our Roman Catholic hosts had not forgotten.
Archbishop Ramsey had a dream to open a center to foster mutual knowledge and to allow people to begin building friendships. The center came to be housed in the elegant Palazzo Doria Pamphilj just around the corner from the Pantheon, and today it offers a chapel, courses, research library, and hospitality for Christians worldwide so they can experience the beginnings of a far-sighted new way to relate.
One of the things that I've felt about Rome is that I've had more opportunities to be included ecumenically here than I've ever had, I think, in 20 years of cathedral ministry and before that parish ministry.
It was quite a huge change when Archbishop Ramsey went to Rome to meet Paul VI. There was still tentativeness on all sides.
Theological debate is trying to undo either 400 years or 1,000 years, if you want to put it that way, of theological separate development, and that's not going to be rolled back very, very easily.
Progress is being made. Today, almost 500 years after the Reformation and the beginnings of the Anglican churches, friendships have been rebuilt. Dialogue among almost all Christian bodies is a given. There are over 100 ongoing theological discussions and countless daily encounters.
What I really enjoyed about the personal encounter with the Pope was that we instantly got on to talking about theology. We're both unrepentant academics, I suppose, in that respect, but we got on to talking about the nature of the Christian presence in society, the character of Christian obedience, what it meant to be obedient to revelation, what the importance was of the sacraments and especially the Eucharist. And I think we could have gone on talking about that for a very long time, and that was very energizing, I think.
Today the Center's goals are threefold: ambassadorial, educational, and hospitality and worship. From the ambassadorial point of view, the director of the Center is the Archbishop of Canterbury's permanent representative, and the Anglican Communion is the only Christian denomination to have such an institutional presence in Rome. He's at the Vatican several times a week to represent and interpret the thinking and developments of the different churches of the Anglican Communion.
If you're trying to achieve unity between Anglicans and Roman Catholics, as the Roman Catholics would say, who are these Anglicans that we're talking about? And in a sense I needed to know that too. What's the nature of Anglicanism in the United States?
The Center offers courses each year that are open to clergy and laity, which include talks and discussions with Vatican officials and scholars from the pontifical colleges, as well as day trips in and around Rome. Students from around the Anglican Communion study together, share stories and ideas, and gain a deeper understanding of the progress that's being made in Anglican-Roman Catholic dialogue. The Centre's library is the largest of its kind in Europe, with over 12,000 volumes, and provides opportunities for Roman Catholics to learn about the Anglican Communion, its faith, liturgy, and worship. In this magnificent setting, in the midst of Rome, the Centre is further able to offer courses which cover the history and the architecture of Rome, the ecclesiastical history of the early Church, in addition to studying the ecumenical dialogues and other topics taught by distinguished experts.
The courses that we have bring people together from around the Communion and from other traditions. We have Roman Catholics who take our courses, we have Presbyterians who take our courses. In the course of the last year, we've had a number of Africans, we have had Canadians, we've had people from the United States, we've had people from England, we've had people from Wales, we've had people from Australia. A number of those people have written and said to us that this event, this 1 week-long event, 3-day event, 5-day event, whatever, has been life-changing for them.
There was this really, I'm not sure how to describe it, a feeling of pride, I guess, in the best kind of way, walking up the stairs in the Doria Pamphilj and seeing the sign and seeing this incredible place in the middle of Rome that was not just an outpost, but it was a kind of welcoming center, not only to Anglicans, but to all Christians, as a place to kind of gather and begin to have serious conversations about the Church and about unity.
The aha moment that some individuals have when they come here and meet ancient, modern and future Rome in the Anglican Centre.
Another thing about the Centre that I find so wonderful is that it does provide access to people and places in Rome in general and in the Roman Church in particular that most of us would never have access to. I've been there for papal audiences, I've toured the Vatican radio, talked with people in the Roman Curia and other top-level Roman Catholic officials and professors and students at the Gregorian University. So many things and opportunities that I would have never had I gone over to Rome as a tourist. So the Anglican Centre is also a rich resource for learning more about Rome, the Church of Rome, what we have in common, where there are differences, but mostly where we have agreements. We have opportunities to worship together.
Each year, Anglicans of every stripe give generously, demonstrating a striking model of shared commitment. It takes about $300,000 a year to run the Centre. The U.S. contributes about $100,000 a year.
The presiding bishop is very generous, as are several bishops and key donors from around the U.S. But most of our money comes from small gifts from laity, clergy, and bishops from almost every diocese in the U.S. We're thus dependent on the grassroots efforts of groups such as the American Friends of the Anglican Centre in Rome, which seeks your active and enthusiastic support.
By your prayers and financial contributions for the work of the Centre, this hugely significant element in the historic work of rebuilding relations among the Christians will be furthered and its future guaranteed. We hope you will be inspired to add your voice to this visionary conversation and to support this great effort of the Anglican Communion. Perhaps there's a way for the future to hold some legitimate difference and yet work together to serve the world.
Christianity alone of the great religions has this divine imperative that they may be one. So ecumenism matters because that's our job.